To quit or not to quit? That is the question that so many of us seem to grapple with. I've definitely grappled with it on many occasions. To give up or persevere? And it's a very tricky question, which is why I'm making this video today, because I'm still trying to sort this out. Have I given up too easily or not easily enough? Because I can really see it both ways, which is what I want to explain. On one hand, I have started and stopped so many things, tried so many things, and I wouldn't even call it failures. It's just that I gave up. It's not like I went on and pushed until I couldn't anymore, until something failed. It's like I literally just made the choice to give up or to let go of something. And so I wouldn't even call it failures. I'm calling it giving up. I've tried so many things. It's like I had this huge spark of energy and then it would completely extinguish, and I just wouldn't push myself to persevere through something when the energy had left me. For some reason it left me, and I think that's natural. That just happens, you know? So do we force ourselves to show up? Do we force ourselves to persevere? Or do we pivot? That's a very tricky question, because I have tried many things that were not aligned with me. And so I can recognize that I'm actually happy that I gave up very soon on a lot of things that I tried, because they were not my path. They were just somebody else's script that I was following, that I thought would be an easier, more practical thing to do, because there was a pre-paved route that I could follow and there was a script that I could copy and paste. But it was not my path. There was not a why behind it. And if I don't have a strong why behind it, my energy is not going to make it all the way down that path. You know, I'm gonna run out of gas a few miles down the road, which is what happened with so many things. And I'm so glad that I didn't push myself when it was draining my energy, because I've been able to reorient myself so many times. But I feel like I've only just gone a few feet in every direction, and then I've stopped and I've reoriented so many times. I feel like I've never really made it that far in any direction. And so on one hand, I'm like, girl, I just want to prove that I can be loyal to myself and my goals, and I can be committed to something long term, because I have proven to myself so many times that I give up quite easily, and I don't want to be that kind of person. But then on the other hand, I've been able to avoid a lot of years of wasted, quote unquote, I don't think anything's really wasted, but you know, for the sake of this conversation, wasted so much time pursuing something that was not aligned with me. For example, just in the past 5 or 6 months, I was really pushing myself to start this digital marketing business, and kind of like a SaaS business. And I was basically just copying and pasting someone's business idea. Again, I'd found myself in this digital marketing world the past couple years with my remote work that I do. And so I felt like this was kind of a logical route to take as far as my career goes. And so I was trying to start this business, and I invested so much money into it. I was paying for the software. I even started my LLC. I got my business license for my town. I did all this stuff only to get to the point where I need to do outreach. I was doing everything but getting clients. I was putting so much time into making sure I knew the tech setup and all the phone numbers and all this stuff. And I did everything but get clients. And then when it was time to tell people about it and try to sell my product and my software, I couldn't even sell myself. I didn't care about it. I didn't believe in it. Like, I didn't have a why behind it. It wasn't my script. It wasn't my path. I was just trying to push this thing that I didn't care about. So I literally I couldn't sell to people. I couldn't. And I didn't put that much time into trying the outreach. I didn't do all the cold calling. I didn't do all the, meeting people and all this stuff. It's just like, I pretty quickly realized, no, like, this ain't it. And I quit. And I was hanging on to it for so long. I did want to quit towards the beginning, but I was hanging on to it for so long for this very reason of, like, I kept thinking, I always quit things. I want to follow this through. So there was just this small feeling of when I quit of like, damn, once again, I didn't follow this thing through. But then on the other hand, I felt very relieved that I did not have to face every day of the next few years trying to sell something that I didn't care about, I reoriented my path, and this was only 8 days ago that I decided to quit this business. And it was only 8 days ago that I suddenly felt the inspiration to do something that I'm more passionate about, which is making videos and doing creative projects that are interesting to me and focusing on things that I love, even if there's not a clear outcome and there's not a clear path, because my energy will carry me forward through the long haul of going through the weeds when there's uncertainty, if I care about it. But then another problem is feeling like I really care about something at a certain time in my life, and for some reason that dissipates too. So that's what I'm trying to work out here, because for example, today, it's funny because I just made a video about why are we romanticizing the past, but today I've been really romanticizing about 6 or 7 years ago when I really got into astrology, because I was rewatching some of my old videos on YouTube, and I was just like, wow. I remember like when I got so deep into studying astrology in like 2019 through 2022. I got so deep into it, and I just knew I was going to be a professional astrologer. It changed my life. It was my greatest passion. It changed my whole perspective on the world. I could relate to, I could talk about it to people. I could give people readings. It was such a fun way to connect with people and to learn about people. And so I just knew I was going to be a professional astrologer. But suddenly that totally dissipated. My passion dissipated. I kind of went through a little bit of disillusionment with the new age world. And then I sort of like took a completely different route of like pursuing my career and remote work and trying to be a digital nomad and stuff. And so I kind of just like gave up on it. You know, I let that passion fizzle out. But it really hasn't fizzled out completely, because one of the clients I work for is a professional astrologer. So it's like I am still interacting with astrology all the time. It's just not at the forefront of like my passions that I'm pursuing anymore. And I just wonder like why? Like, did I give that up too easily? Or did I need to go through all of the reorientations I did to now, at this point in my life, feel like I am returning to it with more energy? And you know, right now, 2026, this is the year of the fire horse. We have all these planets in Aries. We have Saturn, Neptune, Mars, and Mercury all in Aries. We did just have the sun in Aries. So it's like so much starting energy right now, so much initiation energy happening. And if you're feeling this spark to start something and create something, like this is the time to take advantage of it. And so I'm just like, okay, is all this energy welling up and spewing out of me right now and it's just going to dissipate tomorrow? And does that mean I should just quit? I should just let it go again when I don't feel it? Like you're never going to feel it every day. So it's a very nuanced thing to discern whether something is aligned for you or not based on just how you feel on a day-to-day basis. Because you can't go off of your moods, the changing moods of every day. But something I've really realized about this dynamic of quitting versus persevering, I think the urge to quit often stems from wanting clarity and control over the situation. And I can definitely resonate with that. I do feel more comfortable feeling clear and in control of the situation. With all my Virgo stellium, I like to feel like I'm kind of managing everything and it's all within my grasp. But real progress, especially when it comes to your own personal growth and creative projects and passion projects, real progress requires sitting with uncertainty and being okay with like being in the weeds and not knowing where it's going to lead, but just having faith that you're acting in alignment and this is your path, and just acting anyway, just following that thread and seeing where it takes you. But that is often the most uncertain thing you can do. Ambiguity is psychologically uncomfortable. It is very uncomfortable. And so quitting is therefore like this premature attempt to resolve this discomfort of ambiguity. Like we want to just shut the door before we get lost. You know, I feel like that's what I did. You know, I just felt like, where is this gonna go? You know, what am I doing? And maybe I felt this urge to seek something that felt more practical or within grasp because I could see the outcome. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I think that the real wisdom here lies in discerning whether the path is yours or someone else's script. Because I think if we're just following someone else's script, we're never gonna have that real fuel behind it. And so I really want to prove to myself that I can stay committed to things long term. I can stay loyal to myself and my goals. even when things are uncertain. But I think all of these iterations of quitting have made me a little bit distrustful of my ability to do that. But also, I've cycled back, I've been able to cycle through things and see what I return to. If you can quit enough things and return to something, that's a good sign that that's the thing for you. And I found myself kind of feeling re-inspired to read again. I haven't read books, like I don't read books anymore. I don't like think deeply anymore. I use AI every day to repurpose content for other people's brands, and I'm very grateful for that work that I can do because it enables me to work remotely and travel. But I don't think deeply for myself anymore. I don't have my own like original thoughts anymore. And I don't pursue my own passions and curiosities anymore like I used to. I used to feel like so proud of these little threads that I would weave together in my mind, and I would really sit with them and write about them and think about them. And I just miss that part of me that did that. Now it feels a little bit more difficult to weave those things together in my mind because I haven't practiced it, haven't been doing it. I feel like the main message we get is that quitting is bad, all quitting is bad, but I want to make the point that holding on can be just as much an avoidance as letting go. Because maybe we're clinging to this old identity when a new version of us wants to emerge. And in that case, clinging to this old thing that you wanted to do and forcing it to work is really only holding you back. And so, again, it's tricky. It's very nuanced to distinguish between whether we should quit or persevere. I'm at the point now where I want so badly to persevere and to break my cycle and to be able to trust myself again that I can, but I don't want to waste any time. I feel like I have this big fear of wasting time. And I know I just said like no time is truly wasted. But I have a fear of going down the wrong path. Maybe that's why I've started and stopped and reoriented myself so many times. I have a fear of going the wrong way and then getting stuck on a timeline that I don't want to be on. We can always change, but we can't go back and get that time back. But then, in all this time of starting and stopping, it's like you can't steer a stationary ship. You have to keep moving forward to steer. Otherwise, it's like you really don't know if you have no feedback of taking action. So we must take action, and I guess I'm just saying I don't have a conclusion, but I'm just hoping that I'm taking the right action now, and I'm hoping that I can prove to myself that I can persevere and not quit when it is in alignment with me. I think I just haven't had the conviction like I do now of what's in alignment with me. And whether you do or not, you still have to take action and just try, because that is how you'll find conviction. So in this process of starting and stopping, I found more conviction, narrowing the path to what I think is in alignment with me.